talking about numbers. Today we're going to continue looking at how to build them. Talking about building numbers. Yesterday we kind of talked about what numbers mean. They're a special symbol that represents how many, right? We know that. If I say the number 4, I'm talking about 4 things. If I say the number 27, I'm talking about the number, or 27 things. Okay? We talked about yesterday how there is a number bet and there are digits. Can someone remind me, what are digits? If you don't remember, look back in your notes from yesterday. What are digits? Digits are kind of like the letters. Dominic? The number bet. What are the digits?
They're 9, but not over 10.
Not over 9. What else?
In the ones place.
Anything in the ones place. What else do we know about digits? Really?
We pretty often use digits. They're hundreds, tens, and ones.
Nope, those are not digits. Those are places. What are digits? Ugh. Ethan?
1 through 9.
Not 1 through 9. You're forgetting 0 through 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all digits. Tell someone next to you an example of a digit. Think about that. So those digits, just like letters, have to go in a special order for it to make the number that we want it to, right? And those are those special places. That is called place value. So if you will, please go ahead and write that down.
Okay, let's write it up here.
Place value. Place value is the special, why? Alright, so place value would be special places that show large values in a number. And we started talking about this yesterday. Just like with letters to make a word, we have to put them in special places to make the correct sound. With numbers, we have to put our digit in the correct space to make the correct number. So again, place value is special places that show large values in a number. Numbers are a little weird in the fact that we kind of read them or build them backwards. So when I am writing a word, I start at the left side and go across. When I'm building a number, the smallest place is all the way to the right. That is the ones place. That's the smallest number I can make. That's positive. Then the ones place. Negative's a whole nother ballgame. But the smallest positive number I can make is in the ones place. Then if I go one spot over, we have the tens. This is very important because we know that when I have a number with lots of tens, that's a lot of ones. Right? If I ask you to make 90 out of just ones, that would take forever. Right? Prove to me you're paying attention, please. So that tens place is very important because it can show a very large number very simply. Alright, next to the tens place, we talked about this yesterday, we have the hundreds. Let's go one more place. And this is separated by a comma. Does anyone know the place right next to the hundred? Think about a 4-digit number and how you would read that. Autumn? It's the thousands. I'm going to write it above, but you can write yours underneath.
The word thousand.
You building some numbers. So go ahead and get your notebook out of the way. Get your math kit out. Erase this side. Counters. How did we do it? How many ones did you need? Nope, cancel off your counters. I gave you 4 hundreds. I only gave you 1 10, and you needed more ones. How many more ones did you need? Annabella? 14 ones. Why is my marker not ready?
Can you use the red one?
Another 14 ones. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So good? So far so good? Okay. Let's go to our next one. This time, I want you to make the number 120. However, I'm giving you 11 tens, and you need to figure out how many more ones you need.
Oh.
120. Let me see if my computer's going to work today. What is the value of 11 tens? What is that worth? What is 11 tens worth? If you don't know, skip count by your tens real quick. 10, 20, 30. You're going to do that 11 times. Dominic?
Oh, because if you count 10 times,
Okay.
that will give you 100.
Okay.
And then if you add 4, it would be 111.
Nope.
Or 101.
Nope.
Okay.
It's 110.
Yeah, you need 10 ones.
So I have 110 plus something gives me 120. How many more ones do I need to make that equation true? Adria?
20.
Nope, I do not need 20 more ones. Nope. Gavin?
10.
10 more ones. 10 more ones. Alright, go ahead and put all your pieces back in your math kit. So our next number, I want you to build 40. So go ahead in your notebook, write 40. And then underneath it, you're going to write blank tens plus 10 ones. So your notebook is going to look just like my board. Alright, to solve this problem, I'm going to build an equation. So, blank tens, that's still just going to be box. Plus 10 ones. What's the value of 10 ones? It's pretty easy. Arwen?
It's 1.
Just 10. 10 ones is worth 10. Right? my equation, the number that I'm trying to equal, is 40. Okay. Now that we have an equation, I bet you can figure out what box is. What is box? Box plus 10 equals 40. What is box? Lucy? 30. Now, am I going to write 30 tens? No, I'm not doing 30 tens. That would be way too many tens. That would be 3. So what do I need to write to make this part true? Blank tens plus 10 ones. I know the value should be 30, but it's not 30 tens. It really is how many tens, Bryce? 3. Does that make sense how we did that on paper?
Yes.
Yep. You ready to try another one?
Yes.
Harder one?
Alright, next one.
Alright, so if you want to draw a line or just scooch down, you can. The number that we're going to build is 350. Then you need to write out what I have given you, which is 200, 14 tens, and blank ones. You're writing that out, and then we're going to build an equation from there. So now we're going to turn our English. You have nothing written down. Get it together, please, Dominic. Now we're going to build our equation. So let's start with 200. What is 200 worth? Brayden? 200. Plus 14 tens. How much is 14 tens? If you need to skip count, crank out some skip counts. What is 14 tens worth? Liam, what's 14 tens worth?
140.
140. It is not worth 14. It is worth 140. Plus box is equal to, and the number that we're trying to build, 350. It's a pretty long equation. I'm going to go ahead and add the two numbers that I know how to add, which are 200 and 140. What is 200 plus 140? What does that equal when I add those two numbers together? Dominic? 340. Now I'm going to rewrite the rest of my equation to make it look a little neater and easier for me to read. Plus box equals 350. Now that we have this nice new equation, can you pretty easily figure out what box is going to be?
Yes.
What is box? We have 340 plus something equals 350. What is box? Eliana? 10. Box is 10. Does that mean my blank is 10? Not always. Let's look. We're counting by ones. So does 10 ones make sense?
Yes.
Yes. 10 ones is equal to 10. So up in my blank, it's going to be 10 ones. So the game that we are going to play is called Bagel, Pico, and Fermi. Pico and Fermi are both very famous mathematicians who have done something in the math world. I don't really remember what they have done. And then Bagel just looks like a 0. So the way it's going to work, how we're going to play, is I'm going to think of a 3-digit number.
Oh, okay.
Okay? you're going to try and guess that 3-digit number. Okay? If you guess and none of the numbers are correct, I'm going to tell you bagel. If you guess and you have some of the numbers right, but they're not in the right spot, I'm going to tell you pico. And then if you get some numbers that are completely correct and in the right spot, I'm going to tell you Fermi. Yes.
What, can you